What's up, guys? Flowgood back again. I got another video for you. This is going to be a replay of a daily standard tournament that I did. So let's get started. So this is game 1, and I'm going against a control deck. I think it's red, blue, white. So I start off with a Land of War Elves. Try and get some stuff out early with the extra mana. So I get my Strangleroot Geist out and swing in for 3. Trying to get this guy burned down before he can start doing anything, but he O-rings my Geist, so that kind of sucks. So I save my 3 mana so that I can try and get my Avenger out there at the end of his turn, but he mana leaks it. So I go ahead and swing in, and then I try and get my other mana creatures out there. And Temporal Mastery gets another turn. And then Tamiyo comes out. So I get another forest, and I'm going to play Wolfear Silverheart. And my reasoning behind pairing it up with the bird was just in case he got like a Snapcaster Mage out or something, he couldn't be able to block my bird, which was probably not the smartest move since I could have killed Tamiyo if I paired it with the elf. But turns out it didn't matter. Killed it next turn, and so he's at 9, and then of course here comes the Day of Judgment. So all my dudes are in the graveyard now, so he's pondering. So it's my turn, and it's a pretty good top deck. Strangleroot Geist, get in there for 2, and then he taps 7, brings out Karn. I was like, oh man, this is probably game over, but then I top deck a Dungrove Elder who is hexproof, so Karn cannot exile that guy. So he makes me exile a card from my hand, which was the Revenge of the Hunted. And then he's drawing and thinking twice and all that stuff, and I guess he figured that he couldn't win, even though he had 2 turns to win. But anyway, let's go to game 2. So I keep this hand. I got 4 mana and 2 elves and a Dungrove Elder. So I get my elf out there. Next turn I try to get out my Predator Ooze, which I boarded in for like Day of Judgments, but he mana leaked it. So okay, next turn put an elf out there to try and draw a mana leak, but he says no, and then I try and get my Dungrove Elder thinking that he didn't have a mana leak, and he mana leaks it. So swing in with my 2 elves, and I'll put another one onto the board. So I have well, Day of Judgment, so I don't have 7 mana, I have 4 or 5 now. So I'll swing in with my Avenger that I casted on the end of his turn. And I have a green Sun Zenith, but I don't want to cast it for 4 because I don't have any green creatures for 4. I do have Thrun, but I sideboarded him out, I think. But I top decked a Geist, and he used Chandra to get her back out, do 1 damage to him. So then I finally got another land, and I top decked a green Sun Zenith for a Silverheart. So that was game right there. So moving on to round 2, playing against, I don't remember. Let me take a look. I think it's a pod deck. Yeah, it's I think it's Nyapod. And I top decked pretty good here, and I Phyrexian Metamorphed his Birthing Pod, and I used it to get out of Dungrove Elder. And he gets out a Blade Splicer, which might be hard to deal with, but I go ahead and swing anyway, and then I birthing pod out for a Phyrexian Metamorph. I copy his Blade Splicer. He decides to dismember my Blade Splicer so that my Golem doesn't have first strike. But he doesn't know that I have Revenge of the Hunted. And then I just put it onto my bird, and he cannot block me, so I win this game. So it could have gone a lot different if I did not have that Phyrexian Metamorph to copy that birthing pod. So let's go on to game 2, which I lose this one. He gets a pretty crazy hand to start with, so see, turn 2 Blade Splicer. That's hard enough to deal with anyway, so he's going to swing in for 3 with his Splicer and then a Birthing Pod and get rid of his Splicer and bring out a Hero Blade Hold, and that's pretty hard to deal with too, but I copy it, but then he puts out a Gavany Township, and I try to just double block his hero, but he pumps it, so it won't die, and yeah, I just can't do anything from here, so I go ahead and concede that game. So going to the 3rd game of round 2. I keep this hand. I'll have a turn 2 Strangle Root. Swing in for 2. He throws out a Strangle Root of his own, and he decides not to attack with it. I guess he wants to block. And then I Green Sun for another Strangle Root. So he puts out a Borderland Ranger and finds a Plains. And then I cast Increasing Savagery on my Strangle Root that already had the +1 counter on it. He casts a Huntmaster of the Fells, which I was like, oh man, I don't know. But then I've got a land and I can buff my dudes up pretty dang good. And here comes the Revenge of the Hunted, I think. Oh, no. I cast both of my dudes out there. So, pretty much just trying to size them up so that I'll be able to swing through. So I got my Viridian Corruptor out there to take out his Golem with first strike, and then I just swing with everything, and he had to block. So that was that. And I won that game. So here is round 3, and I'm playing against Delver, and I really hate Delver. I really do. It's just so hard to deal with. Vapor Snags and Gut Shots, and yeah, there you go, Gut Shot. So I'm already down to 19 by his Delver. I actually get a Green Sun Zenith out there, and then he Vapor Snags my elf that I got out, so he's at 16 from casting Gitaxian Probes and Gut Shots of his own, so I'm actually winning right now, but not anymore. So I've got 3, and then he mana leaks that for my Dungrove Elder. Probably should have waited till the next turn, but what can you do? And if you notice the time over there in the corner, he's got 20 minutes left. His connection was kind of bad, I think, so he was taking a little long to make moves and stuff. So, and he flips his Delvers over, showing me a Ponder that he casts. So I go ahead and I cast my Silverheart again, and he dismembers it before I can Soul Bond. So at this point I'm pretty much dead. I was hoping that I could get that Revenge of the Hunted out before he would turn his Delvers, so that way he'd have to block with them, but it's too late. So he's at 3, I'm at 7, but now it's just I should have waited to not cast that Revenge. So I lose this game. I go my sideboard in. So notice he has 14 minutes left out of 30. So game 2, I sideboard in like Thrun and Ratchet Bomb, stuff like that, so that I can try and get around his counters and his Vapor Snags. So I'm stuck on 1 mana here still, but I was able to cast my Strangleroot Geist. So he's at 14 because he's Gitaxian probing for more cards. So I'm able to get my Dungrove Elder out there because he was tapped out. He might have had a mana leak, but he couldn't cast it. So I try and get another one out there, and he didn't have a mana leak, so Snapcaster's in to kill my Elder. So he's at 10, I'm at 19. He still hasn't flipped his Delvers. I mean, whenever I play against Delvers, just like, that is the deciding factor, if he flips his Delvers or not, because I mean, I don't have any burn spells. So, yeah. So I cast my Throne out there. I guess he decides that he can't win with Thrun on the board, so notice he's got 7 minutes left. So going into round 3, or not, well, yeah, it is round 3, but game 3 of round 3. I don't know why the backgrounds keep changing. I mulligan down. I have a Ratchet Bomb, so that's good against his Delvers if they flip. And notice he only has 2 minutes left because he actually disconnected from the game and it came back. So this game could have gone different. Ultimately, he runs out of time, but he's rushed to make decisions because he has to win before his time runs out, or else he loses. So I'm just going to put on the pressure here with the fast aggro, and then he Days of Judgment. So I do Phyrexian Metamorph, copy my yeah, over there, and he says, "Gotta love free wins." I didn't respond because I wasn't sure if he was upset or if he was, being sarcastic or what. But either way, I copy my Strangleroot Geist. He flashes in a Restoration Angel and takes one of them out. He brings in a sword, which is really good against me. Then he swings in, untaps all of his lands, but he doesn't play anything, so I don't know what that was all about. So if he were to kill my Strangleroot Geists here, like one would come out and I would just copy the Restoration Angel, and then if the other one came out, I could copy his sword, or whichever one. So that would be, I don't know, it's hard to say with this game, but he ran out of time, so I won anyway. He was at 1 life, so he wouldn't have been able to swing in unless he got another dude out. But anyway, I was casting my Dungrove Elder, so yep, that was the end of round 3. So I'm 3-0, and yeah, let's go to round 4. So round 4 is the last round, and this guy is playing red-green aggro. So it's gonna be a tough one. I get my bird out there and he Galvanic blasts it. So turn 2, I Strangleroot Geist and hit him for 2. So he has a Land of War Elves out on turn 2. So turn 3, I swing in with my Geist again. Then I pass turn because I want to flash in a Wolfir Avenger after he casts his Huntmaster, and then I top deck a Revenge of the Hunted, so that was a really good draw. So he has to block my guy. So his Huntmaster is dead, and so is his Wolf token. Yeah, he gets a Sword of War and Peace out, but it's too late for him. So I cast my Wolfir Silverheart, and he just concedes the first game. So we will go to the next game once I can find it. Okay, so game 2. Looks like he wins this game. I mulligan down to 6. So turn 1, I get a Land of War Elves out, and end of turn, he Galvanic Blasts it right away. So his turn 2, it gets a Land of War Elves out. It's my turn 2. I'll put a bird and then another bird. So I've got 4 mana effectively, but he's got 4 mana also. So we Green Suns for 3 for a Daybreak Ranger. So I've got 5 mana. So a Green Sun for 3. So I get my Dungrove Elder out there. He uses his Daybreak Ranger's ability to take out a bird and then cast a Huntmaster of the Fells. Gains 2 life. So I have a Dungrove Elder and 2 birds and nothing but mana. So it's not looking good for me. He's at 18. He's going to hit me for 4, pass turn, and take out one of my elves or my birds, and then hit me for 2, and then take out another bird with his Huntmaster. So I get out of Stranglegeist, and I just pass turn, try and block, but he Green Sun Zenith for a Wolfir Silverheart, and I pretty much am dead here. So I just chump block with my Geist, and then I see what I top deck, and it wasn't anything that I could use. So game 2 went to him. So game 3 of the final round, and I start off, and I keep my hand. I have 2 mana, but I have Mana Dorks and Strangleroot Geist, and of course he gets rid of my turn 1 Mana Dork right away, as in the previous 2 rounds. So I get my Geist out and hit him for 2, and he casts a Strangleroot Geist of his own, and I top deck a Revenge of the Hunted for miracle cost, so I make him block me, and I trample in for 7 damage, and then I cast Atlanta War Elves. So he passes turn, or no, he Arc Trails, and my guy comes back with a counter on it, and I top deck another Revenge of the Hunted. So that's pretty lucky and awesome at the same time. So he's at 4, and he passes turn, and I play a forest, and then he Galvanic Blasts my Strangleroot Geist. So all I have is a bird and 3 mana. He's got 5 mana. And I top deck a Phyrexian Metamorph, and I copy my bird, so that I have 5 mana for Wolfir Silverheart, but he Ancient Grudges my Metamorph, so cast a bird of his own. But I get another mana, so I'm going to go ahead and hard cast Wolfir Silverheart and bond to my bird. And I'm saving my Viridian Corruptor just because there's no real reason to cast it, and then I find out it's a real good thing that I didn't play it, because now I can swing in for the win, because I'll just cast it and it'll destroy the artifact that he copied my Wolfir Silverheart with. So that is the tournament. So I went 4-0. I had a couple games that I lost, but won all my matches, and I came in 2nd place overall. I got 11 packs and 3 qualifier points. So yeah, I came in 2nd overall. We had the same opponent match win, but he won more of his games than I did, and yeah, so he got 1st place, I got 2nd place, but I can't complain. I went 4-0, so yeah, it's pretty awesome. So until next time, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. See ya.